Hey guys, I'm here with another Yugioh Market Watch. Today I wanted to go over some cards that we've looked at in the past month or so, kind of see how they're doing in price. And then we're going to talk about whether you should sell them while they're up or buy them if they've gone lower. But without anything further, let's get into it. The first card I wanted to go over is Utopic Draco Future, coming out of King's Court, ultra rare. I talked about this card when it was around $10 to $12, and I picked my copy up because I was playing in a deck. But I thought it was a really good investment. I just didn't want to buy a bunch of copies yet because I figured I'd wait a couple months to pick it up in bulk. And I probably should just picked it up then because we got a lot of decks that are playing this card now or looking to play it in the near future. So now it's around $33 to $35. And if you bought extra copies, I would, sell a couple or sell one and then hold, one or two for longer, because I think this card can go to like $50 to $55. But it just depends on what the decks that are playing it are doing. If they end up, doing really well, like Phantom Knights, for example, or Lyrilusk. But keep your eye on this card. And if you want to cash in, I would say you can, because you definitely made a lot of money if you bought it when I talked about it when it was around $10 to $12. The next card I want to go over is Discord, coming out of Dual Terminal 4. I talked about this card and it was like 40 cents, and I ended up picking up like 70 to 80 copies around the 40 to 50 cent mark. I mean, some of them were 40 and some were 50 to 60, just depending, because I ended up having to get it from a bunch of different sellers. But I've been selling these like crazy. I think I've sold like 5 play sets around the $3 to $4 range, like for each card. These are my listings right here, by the way. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think I've already recouped my initial investment. I still have like 55 or 60 copies left. So everything from here on out is just pure profit. If you want to pick this card up, just send me a message and I'll give it to you for like $1 a piece. Don't go buy my copies for $4. It's not worth it. I doubt this card will actually even see play because Dimensional Barrier is actually better. The only reason I would consider like side decking this is if like Sword Soul is like getting like a 50% representation at my locals or in tournaments, and then it just makes sense at that point because it would blow Sword Soul out the water for sure. Pretty much the only play they would have is to go into Phoenix Enforcer, and that card is just not strong enough on its own. But yeah, so if you pick these up, you did really well for yourself, and I would start selling them at that $3 to $4 range if you can. The next card I want to go over is Ultimate Rare Forbidden Chalice. I told you to pick these up around the $45 mark, and they got completely bought out. And now the first edition is around $150, but there really isn't a decently priced unlimited now. I sold my copy for $140 yesterday. I'm pretty happy with that because I bought it for $40 as well. If you do want a copy though, Near Mint first edition for $150 is not really that bad, because I think the Near Mint first edition was already like $120. So this is like a $30 increase. And this card definitely could go higher. This probably won't be here very long, I imagine. But yeah, good job picking that up if you did. Hopefully you did. But I would go ahead and sell it if you got an unlim. If you got a Near Mint first edition, I mean, you can hold that for as long as you want. But if you got an unlim, I would just go ahead and flip it. And eventually when this card isn't seeing play, it'll float back down. Not ever to 45 again, but probably like 60, 65 for light play. The next card I want to go over is Ultimate Rare Forbidden Droplet. This is also a card we talked about a couple of times, and I told you to pick them up around like 190. And they got bought up recently, and they're around 285 to 300. I know some copies were selling at 420 to 440, which is absolutely crazy. But honestly, if you have it now, you can sell it if you want to, turn a profit. Especially if you're planning on getting the reprints, you could definitely make some good money selling it right now. But if you're looking to pick this card up, just wait until the reprint comes, because I do think the only reason this card's so high, like so soon, is because we don't have a reprint yet, and the other copy is $170. So I think once we get a reprint that comes that brings, it's like around $50 to $60. It'll bring this card down quite a bit too. Probably not ever to 190 again, but probably to like 240, 250. In the long run, though, this card's definitely going to be up there with Salt and Strike around the 380 to 400 range. And people are going to buy that because we've already seen with the sales history that people will buy it for that. So I think it's a pretty safe investment. But if you do need to pick up Forbidden Droplet to play on your deck, I would just go ahead and spring for this over the secret rare, because this is going to hold its value a lot better than the secret rare, especially since the reprint's going to be a secret rare for sure. So I would think that the secret rare will probably settle to like 80 and the reprint will probably be around 55 to 60. But that also depends on if it's a short print. That's what I would see happening. If it's widely available, then probably the reprint would be around 40 and the original would stay around 100. 110. But the next card I have to go over is Artifact Sanctum, coming out of Primal Origin. This is a card, actually went over the secret rare for this card, and we'll talk about that next. But right now you can get these for around $6 for a lightly played first edition. And a near mint, $6 as well. So if you are looking to pick up Artifact Sanctum, I would get the original print Ultra here, which I'll move this to the other side so that you can see what sets they're from. But yeah, this is out of Primal Origin. And then we'll look at the secret rare, which I actually just sold my playset of. The secret rare was the one I talked about and said to pick up around the 6 to 650 range. And now it's around 12 to 13. I sold mine for 13 a piece because I think it did go a little bit higher than this initially. But if you have yours, I would sell this and then get the first edition print from Primal Origin, because there's no reason that should be half the value of the reprint secret rare, even though the secret rare looks absolutely amazing. The next card I want to go over is Phantom Knight's Fogblade secret rare, coming out of Battles of Legend Relentless Revenge. I talked about this card a while ago when it was around the 6 to 8 range. And I said to pick it up because before it got the reprint and Ghost from the Past, it was up at this price. And now it's back up because people are expecting Phantom Knights to be a pretty big, strong deck in a couple of months. I think it's when the Brave token support comes out. So I would sell these if you have them now. The only reason I'm going to keep mine is because I love Phantom Knights and I'm never going to sell that deck. But I am going to look to sell, because I bought a bunch of the ultra rare reprints, and we'll actually look at those now. Hold on 1 second. Someone sent me a text. I'm going to make sure. Okay. All good. So let's see. The Ghost from the Past is now, I think, around the $4 range. $4.15 for a near mint. I picked these up for $1 a piece. I think I got like 5 of them, and I should have got more. But I think I put mine up for sale on here somewhere. Yep, there it is, $5 a piece. I'm only going to sell a playset though and hang on to a couple of copies just in case the Phantom Knight deck really takes off. Because if it does, then this will probably be $8 or $9 as well. But yeah, if you haven't picked one up, I would say this is the best copy to pick up at this point. Just because this probably won't get reprinted for a long time, since it just got reprinted, and it's still an ultra rare and it's the cheapest ultra rare. We can also look at the Wing Raiders one, but let's see. Okay, 535. Okay, I changed my mind. Buy this copy, don't buy the Ghost from the Past one, unless you can find a good deal to get them around $3 a piece. But yeah, that's not a bad copy to get either. I just want to get the secret rares because $25 to $30 isn't worth it when you can get a good looking copy, especially since it's not the first edition print anyways. The next card I want to go over is Baronet of Fleur. This card is absolutely insane. I don't know if you've had a chance to read it yet, but I was able to pick up a copy when it was $100. Back when we had the 15% cash or cash credit, whatever, for your account. So that brought it down to the 85 range, which is really what I was looking to pick it up for. And I'm glad I did because it's now around, we got one copy here for 128, which I don't imagine will last long. And then it's up to 138. I think this card will easily be 160 in the coming months. And the reason I say that is because if you look back at any other duels pack that has a card that is even semi-relevant, that's short printed, it ends up being 120 and above. Like Malicious Bane's a good example, except for the only thing I would say is that's less competitive, but it's more collectible. But even this has got a little bit of collectible value. But I just think that this won't get reprinted for a while. And there's really not that much value inside the duels pack when you look at it. I mean, the ultra rare Baronet of Flora is worth a lot more than the ghost rare. The ghost rare is now worth 65. By the way, if you were thinking about picking that card up, that's absolutely a good deal. It's not going to go like Winged Dragon of Ra, where it goes to 250 to 300. It's probably going to settle around the 125 range in the near future, like the next 4 months. And then it'll probably eventually get up towards 150, but I don't see it really going past 150 unless they stop printing ghost rares. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But if you want to pick up a box or two of the Synchro Storm, it's a really fun pack to open. And you do get 5 ultra rares. And if you're wanting to build the Bird Call deck, I would definitely consider putting that together because it's really cheap. And if you do open the box, you end up getting most of the core because a lot of the core is commons and super rares. The only thing that you would need to buy is the Ensemble Robin and the Wagtail and the Bird Call, which you add that up, that's around 50 for the Bird Call for a playset. And then you can play 2 Celestines. I'm playing 3 just because I pulled 3. I ended up opening 2 boxes. And I do kind of like having just the extra, birds to have in your hand. And then the Ensemble Robin, you can play 2. I picked up 3 and I'm only going to play 2, but you really only need 1. And it's really just having an extra name, but everything else is extremely cheap and the deck is insane. Even pure, you can play it with Tri Brigade and it's really good too, but even pure, it's just really good and consistent. The only thing I will say is it does take a lot of thought to try to put your combos together and think through your plays because it's not an easy deck to play. It's an easy deck to get a bunch of monsters on board, but it's not an easy deck to strategize what you're going to do. Other than that, that's all I have to say about this set. I wouldn't pick up the ultra rare Clear Wing Synchro Dragon because I think it'll bottom out to like $3 or $4. I tested out the Speedroids and I really just couldn't grasp the deck. I probably need help. Someone needs to teach me that knows how to play it because I do think it's a pretty cool looking deck, but I could not figure out how to play it. Oh, one other card I would maybe pick up, or 2 cards, is the ultra rare High Speedroid Clear Wing Rider. It'll never see play, but the artwork is insanely good. And it's like 20 cents for an ultra rare out of duels pack, which is crazy. I think just the collectability, it's going to be probably a $2 to $3 card. So don't go crazy. Just get a couple copies because it looks really good. And also Sage de Fleur is also a pretty interesting card that I could see people messing around with at some point. If you don't know what it does, definitely check it out. It's a pretty cool card. And it's also ultra rare. That's kind of collectible. If some people like the Fleur stuff, I certainly do. But the next card I want to go over is Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. I know I talked about this card when it was around 45 for like the light play first edition. Now it's gone up considerably. It's around 63 for a light play, and then that's 1 copy available, I think. Yep. And then let's see where it goes after that. Around 74 for the near mint first edition. If you haven't picked this card up, I would get that light play for 63, or even this near mint because it quickly goes up to 85. I just wouldn't spend 85 on it, honestly. It has gone up to like 110 before, but I was under very specific circumstances, which was Numeron. But this is kind of the tech that people are thinking about. this format, and it's a Ghost Girl. And I would say pick up any first edition secret rare Ghost Girls or highest rated Ghost Girls that you can, because I think those are gonna be highly collectible. But yeah, it's a decent card. It's just got to have its right format, which could come at any time. You never know. Let's see. The last card I wanted to go over is Harpie's Featherstorm. This is one I wasn't sure if I had talked about or not, but I'm 80% sure that I did. And I think it was around $5. And I said to pick these up because the Leerless deck was coming out. And this card's absolutely insane. It's basically a Dark Ruler, but you can Dark Ruler on their turn. Well, not even Dark Ruler, honestly. It's more like a skill drain, but only for their board on their turn. If you have a wind monster on your field, you can flip it up, and for the rest of the turn, your opponent can't activate monster effects. So it's an insane card. It basically just stops them from doing anything. But it's around 11 to 12 now. So if you still have yours, I would say sell them. I'm not, because I put the Leerless deck together. I'm gonna try playing that at locals and see how I like it. I have liked it online so far, and it's been pretty fun, like learning the deck. But I'm gonna have to hold on to mine for now. And then if you look at the ultra rare version, it only has 3 versions. The common's $3 or $4. And if you open this set, I would look to see if you have these, because I would definitely offload the commons. I actually think I have some of these laying around somewhere. I need to look for those and list those up. But the Dual Saga ultra rare is around $14 as well. This was also around $5 to $6. So if you have these, I would sell them. I don't know that they'll go much higher, honestly. If you want to sell half of your copies and keep a couple to hold on to, that's fine as well, because I think Leerless will probably have some surprising tops. I know the Tri-Brigade version has had a bunch of tops already, but I don't know that they're playing this card. I really haven't looked at that deck list. I used to play Tri-Brigade Leerless, and then I just got too tired of losing because of the time. It just wasn't that great. It wasn't consistent. And then I tried playing pure Tri-Brigade, and I hated that. It was just the most boring deck I've ever played. But the Leerless version actually is really fun if you get everything in hand. Kind of the problem was, though, a lot of people at my locals were playing it, Tri-Brigade variants as well. And so one of the cards I had to play for consistency was Jack in the Hand, and they would always end up getting like my Warbler or something. So that's why I had a lot of trouble. Other than that, I will be announcing the winner of the Tri-Brigade deck core on Friday. It's going to end up being, I think I'll let you know on Friday, because I actually haven't really looked to see what all it's going to include. It's definitely going to include the any rares and any commons, but I need to see if I have extra super rares, and if I do, then those will also be up for grabs in the set. But if you want to enter to win, you can either like and subscribe to, well, subscribe overall, but you can like this video or you can like my previous video, and either way you'll be entered to win. But I would like you to comment down below what decks you're playing and what cards you're looking forward to in the new upcoming sets, that will enter you into the contest, or drawing rather, not contest. Anyways, thanks for watching. I will talk to you guys on Friday. Other than that, that's all I have. I hope you enjoyed the video.